Hello everybody, what is going on? Welcome to the channel. As we can see, today we're talking about this beautiful VOGE CU250. And guys, the most noticeable thing about this motorcycle is the engine. Look at that. We have 250cc liquid-cooled V-twin. We have 27 horsepower and 23 newton-meters of torque. So far, I feel like this is by far the most outstanding part of this beautiful machine. CU250 has 300mm single-sided disc. This time the caliper comes from VOGE, and to my knowledge this is 4-piston caliper. Obviously we have dual channel ABS, this bike has traction control and so much more. From behind we have, I guess it's 220 or 40mm single disc. Yeah, ABS I've just said. Again, the caliper comes from VOGE, and I'm not sure whether this is 1-piston or 2-piston caliper. Now, looking at this bike from this angle, I can tell you that we don't have a monoshock. We have two springs from behind. They look really good, guys. They're not adjustable to my knowledge, but yeah, this is a very cheap motorcycle. The price of this machine here in China is 17,000 RMB, and it would be something like 2,400 bucks. By the way, the seat height of this bad boy is 710mm, and we have 15-liter tank capacity. Over here, as you can see, we have this TFT dash. You know that I'm not a big fan of TFT dashes like this on cruisers, but actually, to be honest with you, it looks pretty good. Other than that, we have this nice looking front fork, and we have a round LED headlight. And from behind, we have this really nice, very elegant, good-looking taillight. Yeah, guys, listen, this machine is actually really beautiful, and it doesn't look like 250cc motorcycle for sure. It looks like a Harley Davidson, which has like 600cc or something. So look-wise, this machine is really good. But guys, one thing to mention is that this guy is 172 kilograms wet and ready to go, which is pretty heavy for the displacement, but overall I feel like it's still alright. Yeah, listen, I was talking about it for some time. I'll just hop on the bike, we'll listen to the engine, and let's go for a ride, shall we? Alright guys, so right now as I'm sitting on this bad boy, I can tell you that it feels very comfortable. The first thing I see is of course this beautiful dash, this huge, pretty big fuel tank, really nice handlebars, and I can see a whole bunch of buttons. Yeah, I mean, we can actually access menu. What's important is that we have traction control button, which means that we can turn it off and on. As I press it, nothing happens. It's a little bit too complex for my liking. Yeah, I'm sure if I would spend, let's say, 5 minutes into this dash, I feel like I'll be able to figure it out. It's not too stable, I don't know, but let's hope that it will be fine. All right, guys, listen. First gear. Okay, we're on the cruiser, so the foot pegs are pretty far away. We have to keep that in mind. All right, let's go, shall we? Oh, yeah. Ooh, that's really pleasant. Oh my god, it's so smooth. 172 kilograms. Doesn't feel bad at all. It's very maneuverable. You know, actually it feels very light. Again, this is not a heavy bike, but it feels pretty much just the same as CLC 250 from CF Moto. Feelings wise, it's pretty much the same, but I would actually tell you guys it's way smoother. We don't have as much vibrations. As I hit the brakes aren't too sharp actually, which arguably is a good thing for a beginner. Let's try to make a U-turn. Yeah, we're really maneuverable on this bike. Okay, let's try to accelerate, shall we? Brakes. Ooh, brakes are pretty good. You have to give it a little bit more squeeze. This initial bite isn't as sharp, but guys, I mean, this is the beginner's bike. I don't really want to have extra sharp brakes on the bike like that, because you know that once you over squeeze the brake lever, shit can happen. So yeah, I feel like the brake lever is really nice. Brakes are pretty good. Yeah, but my favorite part, guys, is that it's really easy to handle and it's very smooth. Like, gears are very short, I would say, but yeah, the biggest difference between this bike and CLC 250 is that it's really smooth. It's not vibrating. I would just remind you one more time that on CLC 250 we had one-cylinder engine. That engine sounds really good, but you can definitely tell that this was one-cylinder engine. Meanwhile, on this guy we have V-twin, and somehow it's not vibrating like crazy like old fridge. It's really nice and smooth. I don't know, maybe some guys would not like it because you know, being full of vibrations is a very common trait of some old-fashioned cruisers. Meanwhile, this guy is super smooth. I mean, I really want to use the term butter smooth. Oh yeah, it's very flickable. Oh my god, it's like, it's really fun to ride. Yeah, listen guys, actually it's pretty dynamic. It's quite fast. Okay, we're in neutral. Let's just go back, second gear. Oh my goodness. All right, it's very pleasant to turn on this CU250. That's for sure. I really enjoy what I have in terms of handling, ergonomics. Speaking about the suspension, let me find some bad bumps or manholes and I'll tell you more. I mean, this is a tiny manhole. Listen, suspension wise, I would tell you that it's not very soft, but it's very comfortable nonetheless. Given that the suspension is not adjustable, so you have to operate with what you have, you cannot change anything. But I would tell you that they found, you know, right, what I would say, they found a sweet spot. I feel like this bike would definitely benefit out of nice asphalt, so I don't feel like you want to ride this bad boy in bad conditions where the asphalt is full of bumps and manholes. I feel like this bike feels really good on the asphalt like that, but nonetheless, if there will be something like a deep hole in the asphalt, I feel like it will not be a big problem. All right. That's pretty fun. Let's make another circle. Oh, yeah, we can't. Let's turn left. Hey guys, slow speed maneuverability on this motorcycle is surprisingly good. It's heavier than CU250. It's like 10-15 kilograms heavier, but it's really fun to ride. And you know, it feels like a bigger motorcycle, that's for sure. And when I'm saying that this bike feels like a bigger motorcycle, it's not an insult to the bike, it's rather a compliment, because it feels as if you ride a legit cruiser, you know? Because look, we have a legit V-twin. Let's just listen to the engine one more time. Ready? I mean, it sounds like a V-twin. We have pretty decent bottom and torque, I would say. Again, gears are short, so if you bring this motorcycle on a highway, probably you'll struggle a little. The top speed of this bike is 128 kilometers per hour, and unfortunately today I'll not be able to measure 0 to 100 kilometer per hour acceleration, but I can tell you nonetheless that in the city I feel like this bottom end torque would feel very pleasant, and you'll be able to overtake pretty much every single vehicle around. So far I really like it. Oh my goodness, listen guys, I mean, I feel really fast on this CU250. I'm not gonna lie. It feels very, very pleasant, because as you enter sharp curves, you feel stable, smooth, fast, and comfortable, because this is the cruiser. So combination of those factors makes this bike pretty pleasant. I thought it will not be very practical for a city, but now as I ride it in conditions like that, I will tell you that actually it's really pleasant to ride. And the smoothness is very good. I like it so far. I would even say that this might be my favorite trait of this particular bike, guys. It's really smooth, the suspension is quite resilient, and brakes are nice. And it sounds good. Yeah. I guess the only problem with this bike that I have so far is that I can't really understand what to do with this like menu, because you see, I don't know, I hope you see, we have enter button, select, and traction control. So I mean, I'm pressing the button, I'm holding this button pressed, nothing happens. Then I press enter, nothing happens. Now let's keep it pressed. Yeah, so I don't know, guys, like somehow nothing had happened. And when you press select button, we can change like information here. So this is what I have out of this menu, but on paper it must be way more than this. So it's just not very intuitive, unfortunately. This is my first time riding this bike. I'm sure if you would be an owner of this bike and you'll spend like 5-10 minutes with your nose digged into those specifications and tiny things, you'll be able to understand how to operate this bike. But as a person who rides it for the first time, it's not very intuitive, it's not very easy to understand what to do. But other than that, guys, I'll tell you that this bike has exceeded my expectations so far. I really like what I have. There are two more motorcycles I really want to ride. The first one is Bandana Napoleon 250, but unfortunately it's really hard to get a hold of it. I'm not even sure whether this bike is available in my city. I feel like there's not a single one yet. And the next one is Benda Chinchilla 250. To be honest, that bike feels a little bit too glamorous for me. But nonetheless, this is pretty much the main nemesis of this bike, so I have to compare, and I hope we'll be able to do it in a very close future. Alright guys, I'll not make this video long. This was pretty much it. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. New videos are coming. Please let me know what you think about this bike, by the way, in the comment section below. And as always, I'll see you in my next videos. Bye bye everybody. Stay safe. Take care.